In this tutorial, I'll show you how to do the Cape Cod House in class number 5 of intermediate AutoCAD. To the left here is my AutoCAD file for the handout. Viewports layer is frozen, so the file looks much like the PDF. And the PDF is on the right, so you might screen capture one or the other if you don't have the paper in front of you. By the way, I added OSNAP tracking as a demonstration. I'll assume y'all watching have already had a lesson in OSNAP tracking. I'll put it in a future exercise handout later. Let's start a brand new drawing. As always, I'll turn off the window screen. I got dynamic input turned on, polar tracking set to 90. I got object snap tracking turned on. I'll kind of demonstrate it as we do the Cape Cod House rather than demonstrate it separately like I might in class. The object snaps are set for the usual 5. Turn off whatever that is. Double check everything is visible on the status bar. Let me zoom in if I can. Okay, we're already in the 3D modeling workspace. Start a brand new drawing, got that 3D Southwest isometric. And I'll be tweaking it as we move along. The handout doesn't stay perfectly in Southwest isometric. Maybe it should. Let's see, we'll make a box. We got 2D wireframe. Okay, handout says change it to wireframe. Okay, that'll give us the color XYZ axes. Make a 10 by 6 by 3 unit box as shown. Okay, we'll click box. Start at the origin, 0, 0, 0. Enter. Right there at the world coordinate origin. Specify length. And as always, set your cursor in the polar tracking for straight to the 0-degree angle along the x-axis. And type 10. Enter. This is where this first box we're drawing is just a brick for which we can O-snap to change the coordinate system later in this exercise. Move your cursor. We want the width to be 6, and we want the height to be 3. You know, if it comes out at a different spot, move it by its corner to the 0, 0, 0 point. Okay. Next step, create a UCS for the front wall. We want to change the user coordinate system from the world coordinate system it is right now to a coordinate system that has this surface as the XY plane, not the floor of the box here, the bottom surface of the box, but the front side of the box. We can call that the front. So coordinates are in this coordinate panel here on the home tab of the 3D modeling workspace. Click on this 3 icon, and these others I've got little use for. Sometimes I use view, especially for handouts. But I've had really good luck with this 3, provided you got points to OSNAP to. So click on the 3 option or the 3 icon to control a new to create a new UCS. Okay. Specify the new origin. Well, we want the same origin. So type 000 or click on the origin. Specify a point on that you want for your new X direction. Well, you can O-snap at the midpoint there or O-snap at the end point. I'll click at the end point. Now it says specify a point on the positive y portion of the xy plane. Well, it could be the midpoint there, the end point there. Probably most intuitive to go perfectly up the y-axis of your new coordinate system. So there, your xy plane is now on this side of the box. It's no longer on the bottom surface of the box. Don't bother putting left back, the text on here. Let me scroll over. Okay, let's make a rectangle for your Cape Cod house and extrude it 0.5 units in the positive Z direction. We want to make this Cape Cod house 30 feet wide and say 9 feet to the floor of the next, the attic floor, that is. Okay. Now this will be a use, or will it? Well, we can use object snap tracking. It says use rectangle. We'll click on the rectangle icon. Home cursor doesn't, for some reason, mouse is a little flaky on the clicks. We'll start here. We'll set the cursor perfectly in the X direction and type 30. Enter. Zoom out. What happened? All right. Try that again. Rectangle, click there. Okay, I think I forgot to click dimensions, maybe. Length of the rectangle. Why do I not get a polar tracking line for the length? On the safe side, I'll snap my cursor right there and type 30, enter. Width would be 0.5. No, the width would be 9 in our new X coordinate system. And placing the rectangle, we got the simple rectangle command. I was thinking box command, but the handout says use rectangle. Click there. Now this is why I don't like pure isometrics. You get conflicts. Lost my navigation toolbar. 3D free orbit. Type in, and we'll make it a little more like the handout. There. Up, we want to extrude it 0.5 units. Click extrude, select the rectangle, enter, point your cursor in the direction you want to extrude in, at 0.5 for a half a foot thick. So that'll be the front of the house. Later we might cut a door in and build a porch and steps and all that, time permitting. Fourth step now is create a new UCS on the left side wall using UCS 3-point icon again. Okay, let's click on the 3-point UCS icon and create a coordinate here with 0, 0, 0 being in the left corner of the surveyor's block guideline, whatever. Oh, snap at the original origin and click there, placing our Y straight up. Now the XY plane is on the side of this box, and we can draw the the baseball home plate shape for the side view of the Cape Cod house. Let's draw a couple of guidelines first. 12 units from the nearest point of the front wall here, right there, back in the negative X direction. Regular lines will work. Click at the front of the front wall. Aim your cursor in the negative X direction. Type 25 for the back wall of the house. Enter. Enter again. Let's, from the midpoint of this line, let's draw a guideline straight up 12 units. Okay, draw a line, O snap at the midpoint of the 25 line. Guide our cursor straight up the Y axis, or our temporary Y. By the way, you can save UCSes, store them, recall them, but using O snaps and 3-point, I think it's easier just to create them as you need them rather than store them and return to them. We'll click 12 to go up. Okay. Now, next step is to draw a closed polyline looking like the baseball home plate and extrude it in the positive Z direction. That's the blue axis we're on. Red, green, blue, like the paint television colors. Red is X, green is Y, Z is blue. This will be a example of using object snap tracking. We could draw a bunch of lines and then join them into a closed polyline, but take advantage of object snap tracking. Click polyline. Click on the bottom front of the wall. Go up to the top front of the wall. The top of the guideline. Back here. Now we could pull, or we could send it 9 units down, but say hypothetically, say I forgot the length to go. I'm going to acquire that point. I'm not going to click on it. I'm resting my cursor on it. Rest it a few seconds. Now, as soon as you change your view, you lose the acquisition. So without panning or zooming, you got straight edges or T-squares lined up straight down from the last point you picked and in line with the acquired point at the bottom of the screen there. I'll click. Did I start there or there? I think I hope I started down there. I'll click close. Good. There's our Pentagon home base plate looking object. Hit escape to deselect. Click extrude, select the object, enter, aim your cursor in the direction you want to go and make it a half a unit thick. The unit is a foot in this case. Okay, we got no use for the guidelines anymore for this exercise, so I'll erase them to get them out of the way. Okay, now we need to build a rectangle for the front roof panel. Okay, it says user misspelled rectangle, always something. We want to get a user coordinate system that will put the XY plane on this sloped edge of the side of the house. And then extrude it. Next step will be to offset and extrude it. So get a better view here. We'll use rectangle. Start at that sharp corner, the nearest point to your face on the screen, on the outside of the side of the house. Go dimensions. And I want the distance from there to there. I happen to recall it's 30, but say I forgot. Now it says specify the width of the rectangle, default being 9. I want it to go from there to there, whatever that diagonal line is. And rats. I forgot to change the UCS. Always something. All right, click 3-point UCS again. I want the 0, 0, 0 point to be at that sharp corner. I want the X to go in this direction, and I want the Y to go straight up the sharp edge of the outside of the side of the house. enter. Should have clicked instead of hit enter. Origin, X direction, Y direction. Okay. Draw a rectangle. So click rectangle, start at the new origin, or type 000. Now here's another use for the OSNAP tracking. Instead of going down to dimensions and clicking back and forth like I mistakenly did a minute ago, I can simply acquire that point. You probably can't see it, but there's a micro green plus sign at that point I just acquired. I'll also acquire the outside point on the wall at the peak. Don't click on it, just rest your cursor to acquire. So I got 2 points with tiny little green plus signs. As I slide down, I'll line up the magic T-squares. There. Why will it not let me get both at the same time? There. No. Well, I'm going to draw it a little. I'm going to make it go up a little higher. By the time we slice, it won't make a difference. I'm at a loss on why I can't get both polar tracking lines to snap track. I'll go a little higher then. Okay. Let's go over to the 7th step here. Offset your polyline you did with the rectangle command and erase the original and extrude the large offset polyline by half a unit. So we'll offset this. There's the offset command. So specify the distance. We want it to be 2 feet. Type 2 units, enter. Select the rectangle and offset it outward. This will create the overhang on the front and the sides. We'll slice off the top a couple steps later. Let's erase the original rectangle. I'll hit enter to finish the offset command. And we'll erase the original rectangle. It should have been perfect size lined up with that peak. I'm not sure what's wrong. My computer's getting old. I like to blame that. Okay, we'll extrude this guy. Enter. Position your cursor in the direction you want to extrude and type the distance you want to go that direction, 0.5. Okay, moving along to the 8th step, return to the world coordinate system and use the old conventional 2-dimensional mirror command to make the rear roof section as well as the other 2 walls. Okay, we're going to copy this panel to make the rear roof, copy this baseball home plate to make the other side, and copy the front to make the back after we return to the world coordinate system. Okay, we'll click on world coordinate system. Should emphasize that when I began. A little icon with a blue planet on it. Click. And specify origin. Not sure why. I'm sure I clicked on, okay, it's worked. I'm sorry. Okay, we're back to world coordinate system, right where we started from when we drew that surveyor's block. I'll use a 2D mirror command. Later we'll use a 3D mirror, but when possible, a 2D mirror is easier. So use it when it's working. Click mirror. Select the front roof panel, hit enter. snap at either midpoint at the bottom of the home plate. Polar track in the positive or negative world coordinate system X direction. No, I do not want to erase the originals. Okay, we'll slice both of these extensions. Next step. We'll hit enter to bring the last used command. I'll select the home plate left side of the house. That's all I want to mirror, hit enter. I'll snap in the midpoint of either the inside or outside of the front wall. The polar track, positive or negative Y direction, hit enter for no. Hit enter to bring up the last used command again. Select the front of the house, hit enter. Probably could have done this at the same time we mirrored the roof, didn't think fast enough. Click on the midpoint on any of these side bottom edges of the side of either side. Polar track positive or negative in the current or the world coordinate system x-axis, and no. Final step is to slice the two excesses off the roof ridge here. We've played with the slice command a few times using the 3-point option, and I lost some words in the handout. Always something. So we'll use the 3-point option of the slice command. And for the 3 points, we'll use midpoints at the bottom of the home plates and the very top of the home plate right there. So we'll be like walking with our lightsaber pointing straight up. We'll walk right through the middle of the house and laser sword both excesses off. Okay. Click on the slice icon. Looks like a sandwich. Slice both of these, hit enter to finish selection set. Select the 3 points option, which is the default, so you can just hit enter to select the 3 points option. First point would be any of the midpoints on the floor. Another of the 3 would be another midpoint on the floor. And the third to make the plane go right up straight up from the center of the floor. Select either one of these points. I have been hitting enter to keep them both. I'm going to try to get in the habit of selecting the correct side to preserve. I'll click down, and okay, I'm going to go back to clicking both. I'll enter, slice, select them both, enter. snap, snap, snap. I'm going to hit enter for both, and I'll manually delete those two. Okay, the final step is as time allows. Use what we learned in this exercise and build a couple of porches, dormers, a chimney. Before we close this video, let's change the visual style to conceptual. And let's free orbit to admire our work. We never did put a floor in it. You can erase that initial surveyor's block. There's our Cape Cod house. Escape to get out of 3D free orbit. That's it. See you next tutorial.